Hi, I'm dgerard and this is Pivot to AI, coming to you Monday to Friday. Today, the IPO for the company with the worst financials on Earth might not be a happener. The trouble with doing a stock market initial public offering is you need to bare yourself to the world and show everything about your horrible business numbers. All of OpenAI's numbers have always been hilariously terrible. And just a month ago, Sarah Fryer, the Chief Financial Officer, thought the numbers were bad enough the IPO should be delayed till next year. Just this week, Fryer's been saying this a bit louder. OpenAI missed a pile of its internal numbers for users and revenue, and it's losing ground to Anthropic. Quote, "She is worried the company might not be able to pay for future computing contracts if revenue doesn't grow fast enough, according to people familiar with the matter." Board directors have also more closely examined the company's data center deals in recent months and questioned Chief Executive Sam Altman's efforts to secure even more computing power despite the business slowdown. Unquote. Sam has one trick: be bigger than everyone. But it turns out this costs actual money. Altman and Fryer issued a statement. Quote, "We are totally aligned on buying as much compute as we can and working hard on it together every day." Unquote. Yeah, but one of you's worrying about how to pay for it. Altman told the world he was going to spend $1.4 trillion on data centers, and Fryer had to tell the investors the plan was $600 billion, which OpenAI isn't going to make either. Thing is, the analysts agree. Like Harrison Rolfes from PitchBook, the news site for venture capital, a site you should all be reading. Rolfes thinks a good time for OpenAI to do an IPO is mid to late 2027. He wants a few quarters of clean execution and not floundering. Good luck with that one. Rolfes is particularly worried about Fryer and Altman's public statements that they're totally getting on fine. Quote, "Strategic alignment on capital allocation is not something that healthy pre-IPO companies need to publicly assert. When the CEO and CFO feel compelled to call a report ridiculous, the report is usually close to accurate." Unquote. The problem is, OpenAI doesn't have the time. It doesn't have till late 2027. It'll be dead. It won't just run out of the money it has now, it'll run out of all the future money. OpenAI is sucking up all the venture capital in the US right now, because it's the valuation number that's going up, and that's the one thing investors are desperate for. You and I know it's fairy gold, but the story of the AI bubble is setting real dollars on fire to put imaginary valuation dollars on the books. OpenAI has to do an IPO so they can dump on the public markets when they finally run out of other people's money. Right now, they have an imaginary valuation of $852 billion and apparently want to IPO for $1 trillion. This is nuts. OpenAI's other problem is SpaceX, which is now also XAI. SpaceX is doing their IPO real soon, maybe next month. Whoever goes first sets the tone for AI startup IPOs, and that's going to be SpaceX. SpaceX's draft S1 filing leaked, because of course it did. It walks back all the big claims Elon Musk's made, like orbital data centers. The company's numbers are trash. That doesn't matter, because anyone putting money into SpaceX is betting on Elon magic, not tawdry details like a coherent business plan. And Elon cults are precisely the audience for AI. Who's going to buy this stuff? Well, you are. Your pension fund. The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq index are both changing their rules ad hoc specifically to let SpaceX and OpenAI join the index, and all the funds buy the indexes. When times look trepidatious, change the rules to make numbers go faster. Nothing can go wrong. And you are the sucker of last resort. Thanks for tuning in to Pivot to AI. And thank you to Amy Caster, who co-wrote this episode after we spent all afternoon working on another AI story that isn't cooked yet. We'll get there. Don't forget, send this episode to just one other person. Spread the word. Hit like and subscribe on YouTube. Leave a nice review in your podcast app. And if you want Pivot to AI to keep coming out daily, you should send $5 to the Patreon linked in the show notes. It really helps. Thank you all. I'll see you on Monday, and bye for now.